Hello and welcome back to the channel. Walk up, walk, it's as simple as that. I go for a walk, I cook some food and I walk. Now, I want to get up there, but I'm not about to start climbing this rock face. There's no real access from that side because where the college fence is, obviously it's a weekend so it doesn't matter. Where the college fence is down there, they've got like a partition sticking out which stops you getting along it there. So I'm going to see if I can access it the other side and get on top of that ridge out of the way, preferably in the shade. Now looking at that up there, that looks like there's a fence stopping it. Can you see it? No, sun, there, look. Yep, other side of where I pointed. Damn it. But we'll go and have a look anyway. Might be able to get a little bit up there, I don't know. We shall investigate. That's not where I was going. The plan is to explore a field a little bit further down. Looks like there's a tree area or something, which I don't think I've ever been to. Let's go up here. And I'm going to get some miles in today. I'm not going to be going up massive hills because it's a bit too warm, really, if I'm honest. It brings us out into this field here, but then doesn't really go any further up, which is odd. Let's see how far up we can get. So yeah, today I'm going to be cooking some sticky pork noodles I'm going to put together. I can't get up through there, and you can't get up over there. Now I could pop myself up there. Well, I've only done 2.5 miles so far, so there's a fence leading along there which is for the college. Can we follow the fence line? I have to go round that nettle patch. I don't fancy getting stung. I hope everyone's out enjoying themselves today. 25 degrees we're expecting here. It's about 23 at the moment. No, it's totally untrodden. You can't. You just can't. Let's go back and get back on that path and continue, because I'm just going to get shredded up with thistles and flipping nettles and stuff here. So been stung up now. Can I get back down here without hurting myself? That's the question. Oh, lost you. Too much of an angle with the gravatar. Right, okay, so at least we had a look. There's no way of getting up onto that ridge there, which is a shame, because I was quite hoping to. I'm just going to have a quick look at the map, and I'll be back in a sec. So looking at the map, it does look like there's a field, and then an area that's kind of just beyond it, which I've never been to. I've never actually trodden in the field, I don't think. Now, it used to be like a big container in there, which I think was used as a goalpost. And it had a massive big crow spray painted on it. And you could literally see the crow all the way from over the other side of the road. So hopefully we'll be able to get in there and have a look. Oh, you're right. So looking at it over the field at a glance, looks like there's building work on there. So maybe not be able to get up there, but we'll go and we'll have a wander once we can get into the field anyway, just because we could possibly get in there. We might not. That might not be the place where I thought it was, but to be fair, by looking at it now as to where I thought it was, I think that is the place. And it looks like they've started building on it or something. Oh, you're right. I'm not sure what the building is, probably houses or something along the lines of that. Now, there used to always be access to this field, whether it's now denied. Like most places, you know, we get these areas where we can wander and walk and things like that, and then all of a sudden the big cheese comes along and takes it all away from us. You know, places you've walked your dogs for years and that get developed into crusty housing estates. And I get it, we need houses. So that used to be one of the access points. Now, not. Now it's a big fat no from Corporate Joe. There's a fence going all the way around it now as well. Damn it. Let me see if I can show you it over the fence. No, you can't really see it, can you? You see a load of rubble where they've built it up. Ah, well, that is a shame. Yeah, it looks like they're developing the whole area. Magpies trying to get through the fence instead of flying over it. So you can still get in here, but again, this was just fields, grass banked fields. Now it's all rubble. What a shame. I mean, it's took me so long to get my arse down this far. Apparently M was here. And they've actually spelt was right. Good on them. Good on them. So we're going to have to continue. This kind of was the direction I was planning on going. I was going to stop a bit further back, but I'm just coming up to 3 miles, 2.8. So I'm thinking what I might do is carry on down, loop left, unless I can find a bit down in this little bit of wood down here. I used to ride it quite a bit. Bit technical, like roots and stuff, and a couple of dips and that. And one root drop off down at the before you get to the bridge, which is pretty cool. And we used to call it long socks because if you didn't wear long socks, you'd get absolutely shredded up. Your legs would be stinging for ages. Brambles, nettles, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. Now on Google Maps, it actually says that that is still a field. But look, no, nothing on there. I've got a big digging device. Dude listening to music as he goes. Good on him, man. Might have to cut that bit out though if the music comes up. But I don't even think it was English, which is good. So, oh man, it's flipping warm. Hey Siri, what's the current temperature? No, 24. It's going to go up to 25. Scorchio. Another reason why I've kind of headed this way is to try and stay a little bit out of the sun. Now I thought the path that I was coming up was going to be really, really out of the sun, but eventually you kind of just come back to the sun. Oh yeah, you're right. That pathway was never there before, was it?
What, this here?
Yeah.
No, they've dug it out to help with drainage.
Oh, it's not for access then. Hello.
Yes, no. Well, some of the people worrying that they're going to make it access.
It looks like they might.
Yeah, but they actually initially did it to try and drain all the water off, and then we've had a dry spell. Now they've just left it.
Bit of a mess, isn't it?
It is a mess.
When you think that before no one could get near these people's back gardens, and now
if you walk down there, all their gardens now are so exposed.
It's not good, mate.
No.
So just talking to a chap there, 450 houses are going to be built onto that bit of land there. He says he used to take his dog around a couple of laps every single day for, you know, however long. And now it's just wrecked. Gone. You know, we're talking about the woods here. This possibly is a part of the old Sherwood forest. Because you've got to think, before we started developing everything and anything all over the bloody place, there would have been nothing but forest. Woodland as far as the eyes can see. Until we cultivated it for farmland and stuff. But anyway, back to a more positive note. I'm in these woods. It's actually nice. It's cooler than it is out there, which is great. It doesn't look like it gets much traffic anymore, in all honesty. Not many bits trampled down or like that, and the brambles are coming out to play. So that's always a bit of a stopper, isn't it? No one wants to get savaged by brambles. But when you're cycling through here, you don't really pay much mind to it. And you just kind of get through and then deal with all the stinging after. I mean, I'm wondering whether there's a little spot that I can set up in here. I don't want to go too far over to the road because that'll be quite noisy. See where this leads. I've never gone this way. Always went over that little bit of a bridge there. Intrigued now, as I've never been this way. I'll just scrape my ankle. Ooh. Looks like there's a bit of a trodden path or maybe an animal run further down this way. Yeah, it could be an animal track. Not a lot else. Kind of just goes nowhere. But, you know, having a bit of a moan about them taking all of the greenery. You know, the chap was saying I think it was owned by the college up that way. And they sold it for 40 million. That is a tidy sum of money. Big amount of land. You think 250 to 300,000 pound a house at 450 times. It's a lot of money. It's a big investment and a lot of money. Looks like there's a bit of a path going that way now as well. Never noticed that bit before. Going to the right after the bridge. We always used to cycle up this bit. Oh. Oh, yeah. And he was on about when you saw me stop and talk to him and ask him about that access route. That was never there before, and they've just tore it up for drainage. And now all the back of everybody's houses along there is exposed, and people can just walk down there and be staring in your back garden, which I wouldn't be too happy about. I'm pretty sure they're not very happy about. Just watching my footing because there is lots of roots around here. Oh, it looks like someone's pulled the fence down. Resist, refuse, resist. Now they've pulled one down and they've put another one up. Yeah. Fence means no. Just got to turn this flipping watch off. Snooze it for 8 hours. The kids in the back garden going on the trampoline apparently. Now what on earth is going on here? Found somebody's little den, or somebody's built a den and somebody's trashed it. Yeah, a little den, fire pit. Bit of a mess, really. But, you know, they've cleared out a couple of the trees and that. Just made a bit of a mess, really, with pallets and so on. There's like an old tent thing down there. Yeah, an old tyre, loads of nails sticking up, which is always great. Oh, done it again, and I'm snagged again. Get off. Let's continue along this little path. I mean, it's a proper walkway because it's got steps put in, but because of how long it's been since anyone's walked down here, it's brambles kind of taken over. So, kind of just going in and trying not to get savaged, if possible. So, the idea is to now head into that part of the wood here and see if there's somewhere where we can set up. Again, there was never a cycling track part made through this bit. Quite close to people's houses there. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a bust for this part, and I'm going to head back up the track. Now, I was going to loop it round, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to head back the way I've come, go down a little alleyway and see where that leads us, and possibly get in somewhere around there. If not, yeah, if not really. Now, I do know that down there and this corner of the wood here does get used quite a lot. And people are forced now to use the woods instead of the field. I mean, the woods are nice, don't get me wrong at all. It is a very, very small snippet. I'll put a picture up so you can see how small it actually is. Yeah, and with all those kind of big ass access thing being put through down there now, down the side of people's houses, it kind of makes that little bit more exposed for the other track. So, right, we'll go and look somewhere else. Some sweet peas. Lovely jubbly. Right, so I've just stopped for a little bit of a break in the shade. I'm going to get some water. A lot of the bits here are all fenced off. Any bit that I've been like, oh, that looks all right, that's all right, it's all fenced off. Now over here, right in the distance, here, this bit of woodland here, that's what we call round the woods. Nice little track going around it. It's pretty good. I get some water. Have a look at the map. It's Google Maps. And contemplate from there. What I might do is go up into the Bramket Hills, go up to the what we call the summit, and then drop down a little bit onto one of the steep banks and see if I can get set up there out of the way where people aren't going to be walking. I mean, here's okay, but there's a path right there, which granted may not get used all that much, but what I don't want is just dogs coming in and getting in my food. It's not really people that I'm bothered about. I can deal with people. It's just dogs don't understand, do they? They just see food and they think, yeah, mum, I'm having some of that. So I'm going to contemplate what to do, and I'll bring you back. Right, so we're up at the summit. I've done a bit of a time lapse whilst wandering around. I thought I'd slow it down a bit, show you what it actually looks like instead of zooming past everything. Now there's like a part here that gets heavily trodden with dens being built and stuff like that. That's why there's no real greenery on the ground level there. I'm still wandering around looking for a spot. Ideally I want to do it off the track, but in all the time that I've been walking around here, a good couple of minutes, not seen anyone. And it's pretty hot, so maybe people aren't bringing their dogs out just yet. Maybe they're waiting until it cools down a little. So we might have a window of opportunity to be able to get it done. Now, it shouldn't take all that long, really. It's just cook some meat, cook some noodles, slap load of ingredients together and mix. Really, nothing to it. Easy peasy. I do like this woodland though. They've got wild rhododendrons. I say wild, they were probably planted years ago, but you know, they kind of spread a bit, don't they? Good old roadies. But yeah, this is the summit of Bramket Hills. It's the highest part over this side. And obviously over the other side of the road of Coventry Lane, you have got what is known as Hemlock Woods. It's probably called Stapleford Hills, but we call it Hemlock because the hemlock stone's over there. Now I did find a nice little spot where I thought, you know what, I could probably set up there, and we're just coming up to it now. It's reasonably flat, it drops away, it's shaded, just there. Let's have a look, because what I don't want to happen is the sun to go round and end up being on me. I kind of need to be out of the sun. Oh. Yeah, and you got the Bramket Hills dropping down there. It doesn't show you how steep that is, but let me see if I can. So that's that. That's the top of the tree, and the base of it's all down there. That is one massive big steep drop off of a hill. Let me see if a picture of this side will show you a bit better. So I think this is us. It's about as flat as I'm going to get it, I reckon. Maybe just here, even though the sun's on me. No, not there. want to hide. Might end up going under this oak. You can't beat an oak. Peaceful. It's nice. Right, let's get set up. We're doing it here. So we are here in the picturesque Bramcote Hills. We have got shouting from that direction, shouting from that direction. There's quite a lot of people around today, but it's all right. You know, one chap says, "What are you cooking, man?" So I told him what I was going to be doing. He's like, "Oh, give us a bite." I was like, "Mate, if it was ready, I'd have sorted you out." I've got 2 plates. I would have literally sorted the guy a plate out. But anyway, I'm not going to be doing a live. I've done a bit of the prep on the time lapse there. Lives just ain't doing it for me. The audio's terrible and I just can't deal with it. If something doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not fit for purpose, so therefore I can't do it, unfortunately. Now, I do apologize to everyone who used to jump on the lives and enjoy the lives. I too enjoyed them. They were a big part of the channel. Going forward, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to be annoyed all the time because I just don't need it. We've got a lovely little breeze on the top of this hill. I'm kind of right at the top of the summit, but just to the side of the path. Hopefully, I'm not going to get inundated by dogs or out like that. So I've done a bit of the prep. I've got 3 small shallots, 2 small carrots, some carrot was shredded, the cabbage also shredded. Now, this isn't going to be going in cooked. This is going to be going in raw. I know that sounds weird, but well, towards the end, it's going to get lobbed in as we're mixing it so that it's got a bit of crunch. Because let's face it, I like the crunchiness of fresh veg. So that's what that's going to be doing. We've got half a lemon. We've got the rind of a lemon in there as well. We don't really want to cook the lemon rind. It's not rind, is it? What's it called? Zest. We don't want to cook the lemon zest because it might change the flavor profiles. But using the 25 today, which is my go-to, as you very well know, it just suits me better, I think. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cook the noodles as always, and then I'm going to leave them to the side while we sort out the rest of it. Now, I thought that already had some in, so hopefully we've got enough. And if not, not. Is what it is, man. So we've got all that sorted. We're going to get our pan here. We're going to have our pan. And I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't bring what I normally use for the lid on that, which is a bit of a pain. but I suppose we can use the saute pan for that. It'll be all right. So let's get it lit. Well, that was a big bumblebee. Big chubby ass. Chubby ass bumbus. Right, so I'm going to put my knife into my bag, so that just so it's not visible. Same as the one I've been using to chop things, because I'm in a very public area. People wandering by. It's not like when I'm sat at the 11 Oaks, where there's very, very small chance of anyone coming by. What's that little bird doing? There's a little robin. He's picking off bugs from the tree. Good on him. Right, that's that lit. It should bloom very, very shortly. So, need to get a bit of water in here. And I've got a beef stock to add to it. Now, ideally, I could have done with a pork stock, using pork, but I don't really think it matters. I mean, you could probably even get away with a vegetable stock or a chicken stock. Just use whatever you've got. That's what I did. It's just what I had to hand, so I thought, well, that's what I'm going to use. Going to let that come up to the heater-rooney. Let's move that out of my way. Once that's at a boil, I'll add the stock cube. No point adding it just yet. And while we wait, in fact, probably need a bit more water in that. What do you reckon? So I went in the cupboard thinking that I had more of the noodles. Oh God. But I don't. So I'm using these noodles and these noodles. Again, just use what you got. That's what I'm doing. Might very well have to go in with a bit more water. They've all gone quiet now as well, which is good. There's a group down there screaming, and there's a group down there shouting at them to stop screaming. Just kids, like, you know, just having fun. Not hurting no one. That can go on there for a lid, and I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, so while that is preparing there, I'm going to mix together the kind of thing that we're going to create the sauce with. I'm going to have to do it in this, though, because I didn't bring a container to do it in, unfortunately. I'm going to try and do the powdered things first, and then we'll do the things that are going to be less sticky and that kind of jazz. So I need 1 teaspoon of chili flakes. I'm using Kashmiri chili flakes. You can use whatever chili flakes you can get your hands on. You don't even need to use chili flakes. You can use like a sriracha sauce or something like that. But I like real good spice, so that's why I'm going quite big as one of them. Got some smoked paprika. That's going in there. This is just like a cod's wallop of things going in it. What else have we got that's powdered? There's pepper. Probably a teaspoon of pepper. Now, if you're not going to use a stock cube, I recommend putting salt in. A little bit. Just a little bit. But I'm using the stock, and I'm going to keep a little bit of the water behind as well. Just for the grin. And I've also got some pork fat from some sausages, which is what we're going to use to cook it with. Just because I can. And you know what? Can't believe I've not poured a beer yet. Let's do that, because it always froths up, doesn't it? I'm on the homebrew today because I'm poor. Literally got no money for beers, so I'm having to drink the homebrew early. This is my BFG, Black Forest Gatto Stout. It's actually another brewery's collaboration homebrew kit. and I just brewed it at home. It's not my recipe, so it's not shared on my channel, but you know. Right, so that's the dry mixture of things gone in. We need half a juice of a lemon, because we like it zesty. We like it. We're going to be using a tablespoon. Should we do 2 tablespoons of? That might be the whole thing. 2 tablespoons. Again, this is just on the fly, random. Add stuff to use up. We're going to get 1.5 of them. So yeah, 1.5. There wouldn't have been enough for a full one. So 1.5 of your soy sauce. That's that empty. Half a tablespoon of mirin, which is a rice wine vinegar or rice vinegar. A vinegary sweetness to that. There is. And then back with the tablespoon. We're going in with 2 dollops of oyster sauce. Do we need 2? I think we'll go with 1 and see what happens. No point overdoing it and realizing you've added something that's you got too much of one and not enough of the other. Again, just random on the fly. Not really all that well thought through. And 2 tablespoons of honey. It's going to give it that sweet stickiness. I'm glad I put a bit of extra in there because we needed it. And again, we're going to taste this before we start anyway. So if it's not tasting how I wanted it to taste, I can always adjust. You know? That pan being there is shining right in my flipping eyes. I'm trying to dodge the sun. Right. Let us... I don't see my spork. Oh, don't tell me I've not brought that again. Oh, don't mess about. No, I can feel it in here. I can feel it. Didn't want to be having to eat these flipping noodles again without a spork. I mean, I would have done, you know. Give that a good mix and then just put it to the side. Make sure that gets all integrated. We're literally just going to cook the pork. Once the pork's nice and dried crispy, we're going to add that. We're going to throw in the noodles, combine it all together, chuck the veg on, garnish with some sesame seeds, and jobs are good. And I've also got some garlic and ginger to fry off as well. I've got to remember to do that. Oh, let's have a pull on this. Yep. And that's where we're at. So far, so good. That's nicely heating up. Let's move that to the side so we don't knock it. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to lob the noodles in. So water's hot enough now to dissolve this stock cube. Again, this is why I'm not using salt in there as well. I've just dipped my finger in that little marinade saucy jobby and it's very, very nice. It's perfect. I have got a bit of a trash pile started behind me, so I'm going to leave all my stuff in there for now. And we will most definitely take that away with us, of course. Stock cube in. I mean, this would be a pretty good camping spot, to be fair. Nice high up in the woods. We'll give them a little while to cook. I'll be saving the sauces for this. It was actually a really nice pack of noodles, these. Some ramen. Kimchi flavour. K noodles. Whatever that means. What are K noodles? Korean noodles, maybe? Not sure. Alright, that's that. We're good. Let's get them noodles in. And them ones, we're not prattling about. You know what, that might be enough. I don't want to regret it, not doing the others though. Nah, we're going all in. We're going deep. We're going all in today. I mean, two different types of noodle, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're all going to the same place. My belly. So I'm going to be back when they're done. They won't take all that long. Normally about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Then I'm going to put them to the side. And they'll carry on cooking. Might even need the simmering on. They're going a bit wild, aren't they? And then we'll get the pork cooked. Well, that's the noodles done. Just going to pop them to the side now. I'll pop a lid over them. Well, I say a lid. It's not a lid. Definitely not a lid. We'll get our fry pan on with some of the pork fat saved from some sausages, which I've used before. Works perfectly fine. We don't want too much. Does have a bit of a water content to it though, so it gets a bit spitty. That's the only downside to it that I can find. But it's definitely going to work for what we need it to. See what I mean by a bit spitty? Going all over my bare legs. Diced pork. In. Spread it out a little, get it all. Could have probably cut them a bit smaller actually. Yeah. I'll see if we can get you a better angle. Can't really see it all that well, can you? I'm gonna haul you up a bit. There we are. Perler. Absolute perler. Not sure if it's straight, but it'll be alright. What's the worst that could happen? Fry this off until very, very well done. Not overdone, but crispy. You know? I wonder what the sodding hell that was then. Crow. Just saw this mass move. I was like, what the flipping hell was that? Quite a bit of moisture's coming out of it. But that's quite usual these days, isn't it? For everything to have a ton of moisture content. Well, in the UK it is anyway. They pump everything full of water so they can give you less of it. mean, thanks for the hydration, guys, but I'd much rather have extra meat. Oh, look at that. Tree got my shin earlier on. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking too far ahead instead of where I was putting my feet. I've never cooked up here. I've cooked further down there. And when I was doing the live down there, it cut out. So I was there talking to myself and it wasn't even on. It wasn't even working. If I'd have known, I'd have switched it back so that, you know, people would have actually had the content. I had to rely on the time-lapse stuff that I had on the other phone. So in with your garlic and your ginger. Give it a nice little mix. Make sure it all gets a bit of contact. All right, dude. How are you? All right? Just let that get a bit of heat through it. Because you don't want uncooked garlic and uncooked ginger in. Now, I might even add the rest of the honey in, you know. I'm wondering. We'll see what happens, because we can always add, but we can't take away. It's burning through this fuel today. And I don't actually have a spare thing with me today. Burner. So, if it does go out, I'm going to have to wait for it to cool down a bit. But, you know, I've got nowhere to be. I'm in no rush. Yeah, do come check this out. If you're ever in Nottingham, in the Bramcote area, do come up to the top of here. There's a path leading to it, and then you can come off the path to carry on up. It's a great little area. Let's keep it moving. Right. Oops. I can't use that again because that's had the pork in. So I've only got one container that I can really take things home with. So we'll be measuring up to see how much I've got to eat. How much I can fit in the flipping container. So now we're going to go in with that liquid that we've created. And then we're going to cook that off. Until it's at the point where it's stuck to it. Which I can actually see us needing to top this up. Yeah, so it is going out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it out because it's going out any second now. The sooner we do it, the sooner we can get it cooled down. So I'm going to have to come back in a short while. At the moment, that's just marinating. I normally carry a spare burner, but I didn't bring one today. So unfortunately, that's just that. I'm going to let that cool down. I'm going to put some more fuel in it and we'll carry on cooking. Okay, so we let that cool down a little. We've added some more fuel. Now we're going to put it back on the heat and let that kind of come together, really. Get rid of the water content, mostly. We do need some of it because it's going to obviously create like the sauce. I don't need to add any of the water from the noodles, simply because there's plenty of liquid in there. I've got a bit of sesame oil to finish it with, along with some sesame seeds here. And that's us pretty much done, you know. Like I say, the veg isn't being cooked. I'm leaving the veg in raw. That's just, I want a bit of a crunch to it, texture and all that jazz. But it's a really nice day in the shade. I couldn't do this out in the sun, I don't think. And if it was the middle of winter and the sun came out, I would sit in the sun and do it, but it's just too much for me. Cannot deal with it. So I haven't got my knee brace on today, and I thought I'll give it a go without it because I don't really want to be using it in the peaks when I do that sponsored walk. If you'd like to sponsor me, I'll leave a link in the description. It's currently at £120, which is absolutely brilliant. I put a target of £200. That's how much I'd like to get. Anything over that is a bonus. We've still got plenty of time to get some more donations in. I feel like I'm begging, but it's not for me. It's for the people who struggle with diabetes, who have diabetes, and children who have to live with diabetes as well. Think of the children. Right. So that's starting to bloom. I'm going to pour some more beer. It's good to see people out with their families. See, my kids, they try and get them out of the house. Well, they don't mind going out of the house, but they don't want to go out of the house with me. There's a little bit of water left there. I need to try and figure out somewhere where I could probably get some more. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anywhere, but it's got a water supply. No. It is bloody warm. I've even got sun cream on today because I just keep burning. Look. That's what colour I should be. That's what colour I am on the arms. Wonder if that dude will come back for some. So that does need to reduce down a bit. So I'm going to do a bit of a time lapse until that's reduced. Let's have a little taste. I had a taste earlier on, but that was before it had all been started to cook. Do you know what? I think that's going to have enough heat. We could thicken it back up though with a bit more honey. I'm going in with the honey. So that's probably about 2.5 tablespoons of honey then. I will leave this recipe in the description. Yeah, probably 2.5 on that. I mean, I could even add, you know, a bit more paprika or whatever to thicken it back up, but we kind of want that juiciness, that sauciness, if you will. Now, this is supposed to be a sticky thing, but I can't see it being sticky. Unless we really, really, really reduce that down. Well, let's see what happens. We'll run a time lapse. We'll see what happens. Well, from the moment I did the time lapse, it didn't actually take that long to get it all sorted. Right. So, we're going to go in with the noodles now. Because I've drained them out. In with all the veg, which is shallots, carrot, red cabbage, and there's some lemon zest. Crikey, forgot what my flipping recipe was then. We're going to just blend all that together. Get it all mixed through and serve.
That should be some sticky pork noodles. Might take a minute or two to get it all mixed in properly, but this is probably a job for the billy cam, wasn't it? Thinking about it. Let's try and bring it up like that. Oh yes. Tell me that don't look good. possibly too much noodles, mate. Might have overdone the douche. Might have overdone the noodles. Not as in like overcooked. They're probably overcooked anyway, but I don't care. Well, that's that.
Bada bomb, bada bing. Taste and then adjust. I'm just going in with some of the noodles. No, I'm not. I'm going in with all of it. The zest is fine. You could add a bit more fresh lemon juice if you wanted, but the zest comes through really, really nicely. I'm going to let that sit for a couple of moments, literally a minute tops. Let it all mangle together, and then I'm going to get it served up. Delightful. And I do have 2 plates. So if any weary traveller passes by and we lock eye contact, and I'm going to be like, just looking at him and send some thoughts over to him, like, you know what I'm doing. You know you want some. I know I want some. Yeah. Oh, I think we've waited long enough. Nah, I'm only joking. With the billy can, I'd have been able to mix it better. But that sticky pork, it did start to get very, very thick and concentrated rather quickly, which is exactly what we needed it to do. So it's not like it was a problem, but it kind of caught me off guard how quick it went from being liquid to the sticky. I'll use the one that's got all the chopped veg thing on it anyway. I'll try and gauge what I'm going to be able to fit in the... You know what? Let's just go in it. Just go in. I should be able to fit that in that tub. Bit more pork. Magic. Absolute magic. Just move that down. Move that out of the way. Sesame seeds to seal the deal. Bit of black... In fact, no, I'm not even putting black pepper on it. It's got pepper in it. It's just excessive use of stuff, isn't it? Save the pepper, man. A light sprinkle. Sesame to finish. If you're allergic to sesame seeds, obviously don't put them on, because... yeah. Find something else to put on. Like belly button fluff or something. I'm going to go in with some chili flakes as well. Just because I just like it. I like it. So there you go. That is your sticky pork noodles. Let's get in there. Give it a good go. That is so good. So flipping good. Amazing. There's a dude over there, but he's on the phone. Whoops. My shoes are covered with nearly every bloody dish I've ever done. You could dial back the heat. You could use a lot less chili. You wouldn't even need to put chili in it. It's not necessary. I like the burn. It makes me feel alive. I don't know, I've chat some shit. It's all right to chat shit as long as you don't talk shit. There's a difference. I'm not going to lie. That might not make it home. It probably didn't need the chili flakes on top. I kind of put them in there just for the look of it, you know, cosmetics. Because it does add quite a bit of spice to it. Right. I win. I am going to scoff the crap out of them. What time are we on? Nearly 5 o'clock. I'm going to chill for a short while. I do have to be back because I sold one of my lads' old bikes on Fleabay. So, got a chap coming to pick that up. But I said I'll text him when I get back home. So, there's no real rush. But yeah. Delightful. And versatile. You could change any one of the ingredients. If they don't suit you, just go outside. It's therapy. It really is. It's time to scoff. Okay, they were absolutely incredible. Probably nicer because they were done outside. But I recommend that. Maybe leave out the chili flakes on the top unless you're brave like me. You've got to be pretty hard. I was having to wipe my mouth because it got to my lips, the tingly. But again, I like the burn. I do. Pain is temporary. Glory lasts forever. For something so simple, it packs a good old wallop to the belly. I've got some to take home for the kids to try. I'm sure they will want to. One of my kids is going to be around here somewhere with her boyfriend. I might drop in on them and embarrass her a bit. Force feed her boyfriend some of my noodles. Like, they're nice, aren't they? They're nice, aren't they? You ever hurt my daughter? I'm going to turn you into a goddamn noodle. No, all jokes aside, I'm sure he's a really nice chap. I haven't met him yet, but the day will come. All good things in time. So, I am going to sup that beer, steadily, slowly pack away. Give this a little bit of time to settle. And I'm going to mosey on out of here. I came out about 1:30 today. It's now 5:10. So I've had a good amount of outdoors. Plenty of sun. Even more green time. I just love it. Look at me, I'm flipping covered in it. What a tramp. But I don't give a shit. I really don't. I actually wish I didn't have to be back. And I wish I'd have brought my book. Because this is just such a nice little cotch. There's an old school word. Some people may remember if you're English. Oh, yes. Right then. Let's start getting all this packed away. Look, the flies are coming in now. Let's get it packed away. First things first. Let's get the food. I wonder if flies like spice. or whether they're not fussy. There doesn't seem to be any of them gone for it. Pussies. Let's get that in there. Again, a really, really simple dish. Nothing special. Anyone can make noodles. Most people have got the ingredients that are in this anyway. You know, I'm just using stuff up. That's literally what it is, just using stuff up. But I tell you what, this little dude is a game changer because it shreds your things for you. Oh, there you go, that's better. Yeah, so that got some gnarly blades on it, but that was really, really good for putting it really, really thin because all that veg wasn't cooked. It was added to it afterwards, which gives it another dimension as well because you've got that bit of a crunch every now and again. You've got the juiciness of the meat and then you've got the crunchiness of the veg along with the velvet smooth sauce. Oh. Right. I'm going to get packed up. I might even fall asleep. So now I've eaten, I'm like... But no, I've got to go home, unfortunately. I've got school clothes to wash. I've got it all over me as well, look. And the woods are getting noisy again now. But, you know, is what it is. There is bits of litter around here as well, like bits of tin foil where maybe someone's cooked before. So I'm going to take them with me. I don't think I've actually got a bag. Oh, I got a dog poo bag. I'll put it in that. It's for emergencies, all right. And the dog's not with me, so you know what it's for. Right then, let's go. Let's get it sorted. Time to wipe out the pans and stuff. Give them a bit of a clean beforehand. Just makes it so much easier once you've got home to clean out the rest of it and that. Although sometimes I will admit I leave it till the day after. And one time I learned from this. I went to go and use the stove and had to wash it before taking it out because I'd forgot. Left it in there with some sort of sauce. It's gone mouldy. But you live and learn, you know. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you, from whatever corner of the globe you're from. Thank you very much for joining me on this wonderful day. I'm going to get packed up, going to get out of here. Sayonara. Okay, so the food is gone. Well, it's not all gone. There's still some left, but that's for Ron later on. Yeah, a really cool little spot, to be honest. Sat underneath some oaks. There's a beach there. There's been a gentle breeze coming up the hill all the time, and it's just finished now, and I feel the warmth kicking in. But we're still in the shade. It's still nice. I'm going to get out of here. We've picked up a couple of bits of rubbish that were about. But yeah, you know, go be a woodland goblin and go cook something in the woods. And until I see you again, remember, this costs nothing. I would have been eating lunch at home anyway, but I just chose to do it in the woods. So should you.